My Christmas Small Santa Miracle by Rob Simpson. Many years ago, I got a phone call from a good friend who had been hired to play Santa Claus at a local mall. He wasn't the real Santa Claus, but just one of his helpers. He explained that he needed someone to take his shift. He asked if I would substitute for him just one night. I have to admit that job was perfect for me. I always enjoyed making children smile, so I gladly agreed. The evening arrived, and I soon found myself in a small black room in the Eastview Mall. I changed into that familiar red suit, those polished black boots, and that white beard. I needed quite a bit of extra padding to make everything fit, but with a little effort, the Santa makeover was complete. As I walked through the mall to get to my place, I was delighted to see how excited the young children were to see Santa. Even adults couldn't help but smile and wave. Once I sat down, the gate to the workshop opened. A long line of parents and children kept coming in. All but the very shyest children climbed up on my knee, and I listened patiently while they told me of their Christmas wishes. I was having a terrific time. It was great to interact with all the young children who looked at Santa with such wide-eyed wonder. I'm proud to say that I really played up the role. I perfected my ho, 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 and even managed to laugh a couple of times that made my belly shake like a bowl full of jelly. A woman brought a small boy to me. "Excuse me," she said. "He just wanted to come and say hello." I invited him to sit on my lap, but she declined, explaining that he didn't speak English. "He's from Belgium," she said. "He speaks French." My first reaction was, oh, this is going to be fun. 9 years earlier, I had been a French-speaking missionary in Quebec, Canada. Although I was no longer fluent in French, I could still have a conversation with the 4-year-old, so I turned to the boy and in French invited him to come and sit with me. The woman's eyes grew wide and her jaw dropped, but the boy beamed and jumped up onto my lap. After several delightful minutes, it was time to say goodbye because the line had steadily grown while we were talking. Still, I congratulated myself on what felt like a real Christmas miracle, just like the one in Miracle on 34th Street. But then I did something out of character for Santa. I felt impressed to tell the boy, "Always remember that I love you." I recall instantly thinking, what a strange thing for Santa to say. But the boy hugged me, and then he smiled and waved and ran back to the woman. She led him a few steps away and then stopped. She asked him to wait there and turned back to me. "I don't know what just happened," she told me with tears in her eyes, "but I need to tell you something." She explained that she was the little boy's aunt, and she had returned with him from Belgium only a few days earlier. His mother and father were killed in a car crash, she said. "I'm the only living relative. I've just brought him to the United States to live with me." Her tears began to fall more freely. "It's Christmas, and I simply had no idea how we were going to make it through this season. It's supposed to be joyful and magical, but all I could feel was sorrow. I kept praying, God help us both get through this." She decided to make him the present of going to the mall. "I know it seems silly," she continued, "but I thought if we walked around and just looked at the stores and the holiday decorations, it would at least give us a little distraction. But my nephew saw you and said that he had to come and see you, and I told him, 'No, honey, Santa won't be able to understand you.' And he said, 'Yes, he will. I need to talk to him.' And he literally pulled me to you." She looked at me again and said, "I don't know how this happened, but thank you." I had been enjoying playing the coolest Santa ever, but in that instant I knew that my being in the mall that evening was not about me at all. Instead, it was about one child who needed his own Christmas miracle. I have no idea how many children climbed onto Santa's lap for the rest of that night, but I'm sure their loved ones were wondering why Santa seemed to be crying. Every Christmas, I still think about that boy. I wonder if he even remembers that night that he met me and brought tears to my eyes. I'll never forget how God led me to be just where he needed me, to be there one winter night to bless one of his precious children. That experience continues to be a strong reminder to me that God knows and loves each of us. He knows and desires. He knows our desires, even those expressed through the pure faith of a small child who simply wanted to talk with Santa.